Everyone to BBB Sharing. I'm Evie, Director of Ignite, sparked by BBB. We have our President and CEO, Barry Morin, here with us today.
What's up, Evie?
Hello,
I love
Barry.
your shirt.
Oh, thank you.
That's a cool color. What do you think of my pink one? This is brand
Very
new.
nice, but you know what's wrong with both of our shirts?
I know what's wrong, and I know what you're gonna bring up.
They're not pressed.
I know. And
Which is
who
a
do
great
we have? Yes.
segue into our guest today, who is Sara Moncrieff. She's from Puritan Cleaners. You do community outreach there, right?
I do.
Perfect. So you're the perfect person to have in here today because we kind of look a little
Shabby.
We'll talk
Not
afterwards.
You look great. Was yours pressed at Puritan?
Mine was pressed.
Look at
yeah.
that.
Miss Linda pressed my jacket for me. She's got me looking good.
You
I'm
do.
feeling on top of the world today.
Let's give a big shout out to
Yes,
Puritan.
big shout out to Puritan Cleaners, and we're so grateful for you coming in to talk to us today.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you for coming in, checking out the facility and listening to us talk and have a conversation. But for those that don't know, what do you guys do? Tell us about some of the nonprofits that you guys are involved with and how you guys help the community.
Yeah, absolutely. And before I get into any of that, wow, this place is amazing. Like I saw all kinds of training happening, seeing all kinds of fun friends and stuff, and just how things evolved over the
Yeah.
year. Kudos to you guys.
We've come a long way.
Yeah, loving it.
Yeah.
So I work for Puritan Cleaners. I've been there for 17 years. We specialize in award-winning dry cleaning and laundry. So we do things like shirts and wedding gowns and suits for interviews. And really, there's nothing closer to you than the clothes you wear during the day. And we're honored to be able to be part of people's stories, no matter what that day includes. So for me today, my jacket includes that Miss Linda pressed so beautifully for me. That involves coming to see you guys, but you never know what might be going on in someone's life. And so we're always looking to deliver fabulous customer service and be there for our neighbors however we can help.
I love it.
Yeah, the experience. Yeah, I've been a customer when I worked at the car dealership on Midlothian. I think I started becoming a customer maybe around 2003, 4, 5,
Yeah.
something like that. And the cotton shirts, I guess they were cotton, and they were always wrinkled. And my wife said, "Oh no, you're not spending money on that. You gotta iron them." And I grew up having to do that, and I'm like, no, Barry's
Why do
way
you
too
think I
old.
work at a dry cleaner? I don't have to iron anything.
And I used to drop, you had the yellow bags, which you still have.
Mhm.
You drop and go. I used to go through the mid-low one, right through the window. I would stop, make sure I didn't hit anybody,
I appreciate
throw the
that.
bag, and get the biggest wave and smile from the same people every day. I loved it.
We just celebrated 40 years with 2 different employees at the same
Wow.
location. And I've been there for 17 years. I started as a teenager catching the bag you threw
Yeah,
out.
I used to try to hit you.
Yeah,
You were pretty good.
I've gotten good at dodging,
Yeah.
dodging the bag. But we're thankful to have such a fantastic team. When you say you're like a family, it's like its own type of family, right? It's not quite like your family
Right.
at home. It's your work family. And we've all gotten to know each other so well, and across 180 employees across 13 locations. And it's a wonderful group of people that really do their best every day.
You're an accredited business, and Gary Glover was on our board of directors. I was on the board of directors, and we used to serve together. And it was somebody I learned a lot from him, because what a serious business guy. Man, a few words, great smile.
We call him Mr. Smooth.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is, and his wife, and they were great. Then Norman is the face, the day-to-day face, whether he's at the Diamond or whatever. And I think going back to Evie's question, tell us about the things you guys do. What's important to you in the community?
We're in such a wonderful position where everybody's got the same spaghetti stain on their shirt, right? Everybody's
Yes.
they're gonna spill something at some point, right? So we see our neighbors, we see the governor, no matter what political background, everybody. When legislature's in session, then we're down there serving all those guys. It might be your neighbor, it might be, we've serviced the Bella and things like that.
Yeah.
And so we see a lot of different folks, but in bringing all of those folks together, we're honored to be able to serve some fantastic nonprofits. So when we go in, we're all in, and those 2 organizations that we're with are Feedmore and Salvation Army. And we work closely with Feedmore. We just finished up our 100,000 meals campaign, over 127,000 meals this year in
Wow.
2 weeks, raised by our
That's awesome.
community.
Amazing.
That's raise the roof for you two.
And 70% of those meals came from our team members and our customers on the front counter. That wasn't online donations. That was grassroots movement.
Yes.
And I'm so thankful for our media partners that jumped in and helped us, and it all came together well, but I'm especially proud of our team members and our clients. So we work closely with Feedmore for that program in the spring, and then our heart and soul of our company culture is Codes for Kids. And in the month of November, we raised coats. For meals, we're approaching 2 million meals. For coats, we're over 500,000 coats that we've
Wow.
cleaned, touched everyone, fixed zippers, replaced buttons, all the different stuff. And you just think if you live in Richmond, that everyone's got somewhat the basic necessities. Like you assume maybe there's a housing issue occasionally or food issue, but coats is something that I think we all take for granted. And I have 2 kids, and for them to have the privilege to be able to say, I don't want to wear a coat,
Right.
that's an amazing thing. But, I've back in the days when he threw the yellow bag at me, I remember,
True story.
I gotta tell a funny story. I'm going to start crying here in a second, but I was 16 years old. I was on the front counter. This was at our Staples Mill Road location at our corporate office. And I was helping this young mom that came up, and she was crying. She was donating. Back in the day, it was really popular to have these like red full like wool coats with the black fur collar,
Yeah,
little Scotty dog.
Yes.
And she was crying because she was giving up this coat for her that was her babies to someone else that might need it. And she wasn't sure if she could let it go. This is back and forth. And I'm 16 on the counter, like, it's okay. Like, we'll find another one if it's special to you. Like, don't feel bad. It's okay. And she decided to leave it. And I'm thankful to have played a lot of different roles within Coats for Kids. And this particular year, I was helping set up the Christmas Center, and we always stage it like a storefront. Everything's free, but it gives that kind of special store experience. And we put the cute coats up front, and that was one that made it up front. And I remembered I saw it, and it was distinctive, right? And a mom and her mom came in to get their angel tree gifts and stopped at the coat center first. And she picked up that little red coat with the black Scotty dog on it, and she broke down on her mother's shoulder crying because they didn't have heat in their apartment. So not only was this coat going to be providing warmth for her daughter indoors, it was going to provide her with a nice coat. It was status, that she could feel proud of putting her daughter into school or to church or all those different things. To be part of something that's so full circle. And it's what we do, cleaning clothes, right? We make sure that those items look wonderful so that when they get them, it's got a little compliments of Puritan Cleaners tag, that they know it's been cleaned and cared for. And our clients and volunteers come and help us load the coats into the Christmas Center. And it's just, you guys have come out before and helped load those things in too. And it's just a testament to how amazing Richmond is.
We need to get back on that routine because we have fallen away. So you remember October, November last time.
I got you.
Our staff would definitely
Yes,
do it.
definitely.
They would love to do it.
It's great. Sometimes in a day we're cleaning a, $8,000 hand painted gown for someone, or we're cleaning a shirt for an interview, or those different things. And that's the skill set we have. That's what we do. Our dry cleaning technicians are certified by the Dry Cleaning and Laundry Institute. We're heavy, as with the BBB certification. We take these things seriously. We want to be reputable and know what we're talking about.
Wear with pride.
Yeah. And, today is the name of the game is sustainability, right? You want to see, and the most sustainable garment you can own is going to be the one you already own, the one that you can take care of. You can go, we could talk about fabrics and manufacturing, but that's a whole nother,
Right.
a whole nother podcast about how things are made. But taking care of what we have and doing that well is something we pride ourselves in.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my sister asked me one time, she's like, how do you recycle clothes? And I said, you keep wearing what you already have.
Preach it, Abby.
And she was like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see that. You're the big sister. I love that.
Part of what we do, we're part of a couple of national organizations that we brainstorm together, and like BBB, but on the national level, specifically for dry cleaners.
Yep.
And one of the things that we're always looking at is how are brands turning over in terms of quality.
Mm.
So Brooks Brothers shirts, how many times do we clean those? If you've got a little barcode on your garment, you'll see it's in the same place every time. I can tell that, when I scan it, I can tell you a lot about it, except for where you wore it when you left the building.
Right.
I can tell how many times it's been cleaned, and we're able to send information back to Brooks Brothers and say, hey, your current lot of shirts is not holding up the way that they should be. When I first started, it was something called disappearing stripes. And it was a particular type of shirt from a particular manufacturer that had, disappearing stripes. The dye was water soluble. So when you cleaned it with water, the stripes would disappear. And we would always take care of the customer, because that's what you do, right? You take care of your clients, but then we go back to Brooks Brothers and say, hey, something's not right here. You need to switch up in your manufacturing process. And they may not even be aware that it's happening.
That's amazing.
Companies like Leadberry, we communicate with on how those garments are holding up, or how many maybe we've cleaned and things like that. And it's interesting, like any industry, right? The deeper you get, the more facets there are to it. The one that it's currently got my attention that I was bragging on to you guys is our wash, dry, fold service, because it's got my linen closet looking so organized, way more organized than any other part of my life is at the moment.
And you're
But
gonna
it's
go
great.
see Megan Underwood or the Mullers, mom and dad, over at the Closet Factory, accredited business. Probably old friends of Gary Glover and Norman,
It's a
right?
match made in heaven.
You are gonna go and you're gonna stack their showroom, and their sales are gonna probably double as well as yours, because how much better can you make a $30,000 closet look when everything's neat and Barry Morton fold everything? It's incredible. So that's what the BBB is about. We're about bringing all our brands, the best of our brands. We're not consultants. We don't charge extra fees. I have a background in business, and I just want to share. I share with our 10 employees, and then they then share with for-profits, which we employ. We want to attract, satisfy, and retain the best employees, and that's what you guys already do. I'm not going to teach you any more than you know, but the world's turning and changing every day.
That's how
So
we stay sharp, is by
yeah.
challenging one another and
Yes.
saying, hey, are you still thinking about this? And sometimes it's not always, sometimes it is a new idea. Sometimes it's reminding of what you already know.
Yep.
And that iron sharpens iron, and we're grateful for you guys.
I brought the business process automation, right? BPA. I didn't even know what it was. The company's called Optimally. I can't even say the word, Optimally Business Performance, with Chuck Barker, and he's a local rep. And I just met him this morning, and I'm going to share it with you guys. And so many, Serenity First Hospice, Debbie Johnson, the Brick House Diner, the Galley Diner. I'm going to share it everywhere because it's automating a business. It's taking the time as your commodity. Good employees, you got to train. This does everything behind the scenes. We're going AI full steam ahead, right? And so we're going to share. I got to tell you, it's so lucky to have two young women that are great business people. We're lucky enough to have her there. Puritan is so lucky. This guy Norman Way, I guess, a little bit over the years. You got to know him. And your sister Megan's at in Unison, which she's been with Nancy for years. When I was in RMA Retail Merchants, I loved Megan. Her smile every single day. And you were going to tell one thing because we're running out of time. Did I hit you with a bag? Really? You were going to tell a story?
No, you didn't actually hit me with the bag, but I do remember the cotton polos you were talking about. And I remember that you and your team were always great tippers when you came through, because the location you were at was the only one we could earn tips at because it's a drive-through. So we would take the clothes out to the car.
Right.
And you helped contribute to my Panera habit, so I appreciate that.
Well, that's great. Abby, you want to wrap it up?
Yes, Sarah, thank you so much for coming in here, taking the time to talk to us and do a podcast with us. It was great talking to you and getting to know you more. And hopefully you'll come in again and you'll consider being a part of the Ignite program.
Should Puritan have a podcast? Did you ever do that?
We don't have a podcast yet.
What do you think,
It would be
Abby?
really cool. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna bring this up before, but I'm
I
a
know.
secondhand shopper.
Okay.
So I am very
Yeah.
sustainable. I love finding garments that are good quality. I always check the tag to see what it's made out of. And I take my
So
clothes
you know
to
we
the dry
should
cleaners.
And I appreciate that. You know,
I'm too big. I can't. Nobody's my size.
we should do a tour. You guys come to our facility.
Yes.
We'll show, and then we'll have a podcast recap.
Done.
That would be
Yeah.
so cool.
They should have a weekly podcast. So just saying.
Yeah, definitely. Especially talking to people about
Yeah.
how to like dress and what type of garments to look for. A lot of people, oh my gosh, if I hear Fashion Nova one more time or Shein, it drives me nuts. I have a 15-year-old cousin. She's like, I got it off of Shein. Please stop. Please
I
stop.
don't even know what you're talking about.
Don't do it
All
anymore.
right, let's close this out. We'll keep going.
On
She's
that
got to go to
note-
work.
On that note, thank you
guys are too
everyone.
much.
Thank you everyone for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. It really helps the algorithm out, and share it out to people. If you're listening on Spotify, follow us, leave a comment down on the audio. We love to get feedback from you all and share it out. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.